Well, today started out okay, but it quickly went south. Very south. Hey guys, this is Jace and welcome to episode 147 of My Road Show. It was a bad one today. Let me tell you all about it. Let's get right to it. As big as the load was, we were only one 10-foot unit or one 16-foot unit away from being on the Kenworth. But thanks to all the Tetris I played as a kid, I got it all on bail and in the box. Good morning, everybody. Seems like I'm leaving late yet again. It's almost 11 o'clock. I wasn't waiting on much, but it's just getting the stuff on the truck was a challenge because everything is almost up to the roof. I think I've got like maybe 6 inches of room on all 3 points. And just looking at it when it was in the warehouse, I was thinking to myself, I was going to be in the Kenworth, but just thinking about fighting that ELD box for 45 minutes, I'm just like, man, I don't know if I want to do that or not. I would rather just be on my truck. I'm hoping leaving this close to the top of the hour, I won't have to encounter rock scaling traffic that much. Now, here's to hoping. Today is the first day of it being really hot. 84 Fahrenheit outside. I am already uncomfortable. For most people, this is perfect weather. I'd rather be sitting in a walk-in cooler somewhere, but that's just me. There is a little bit of a problem it being this warm. And that is, as I'm climbing up to the top, I'm going to have to run the engine fan the whole way up. So I'm not going to be able to record anything in the meantime. So I got to get all my thoughts out now, or I'm going to have to wait till I get to Winter Park. This being my first summer with her, you know, I just got to deal with it. So the one thing I don't want to do is blow her up. She's been doing really well. In fact, now that I think about it, this is the first week where I've had her all 5 days in a row in like a long time. So that was another reason why I was motivated to put all the crap on her. Oh no. I think that's probably the first time I've ever seen a Subaru just completely dead in the middle of the road. Ah, that's depressing. Because of the shape of the lights and the bumper, I want to say that's a 2020 or a 2021 year model too. God, how depressing. I hate to see cars from manufacturers that I like stranded like that. You know, it kind of makes me side-eye my own vehicle, you know? I'm like, I ran my first Subaru into the ground, so that poor little girl lasted almost 200,000 miles, and we beat the shit out of her. We did not do the proper maintenance schedule. We moved across country. We did a lot of traveling when my daughter lived in Torrington, Wyoming, just constantly making that trek back and forth. I mean, that poor Subaru was done, and we did it to her. But then I turned around and bought another one, so I think unless Subaru comes out with something really kick-ass that I can't live without, honestly, I want to buy another Toyota Highlander like my wife's car. Those are freaking awesome. And they're a Toyota, so it's like, you can't really miss with a Toyota, at least in my opinion. Which really doesn't amount to a fart in the wind. Yeah, man, as warm as it is, this is going to be disabled vehicle palooza. Poor guys, I feel for them, man. Alright, let's not decide what we want to do here. Everybody over here wants to be over here. Everybody over here wants to be over there. Yeah, it looks like we weren't that lucky when it comes to the rock scaling traffic. I was hoping, and wishing, and praying.
Wishing and hoping and singing and praying.
Yeah, this is a long ways out.
be stopping for rock scaling traffic. So this has been a thing for a while. Yeah, man, if I have any problems getting where I need to be today, I gotta chalk it up to CDOT's fault. Funny thing is, the Department of Transportation makes the rules, then they basically mess up the roads, and then they get on your case when you're trying to break the rules that they set because they're the ones who messed up the road. I consider that a toxic relationship at best. With only half a tank of fuel left, as heavy as we are definitely going to need to stop for fuel. So regardless as to whether the weigh station is open or not, we are going to be stopping. The one time that they're closed, wow! And we're trying to leave my first stop in Tabernash, and we're just trying to make a right-hand turn, and I don't see an opportunity to do that. This is how thick the traffic is. I can't do nothing else, man. It's just floodgates, man. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen it that bad before. And every year, it gets just a little worse. And then a little worse. Then the next year, it's a little worse. Next year, it's a little worse. I'm thinking in 20 years from now, you're not going to be able to travel up here because there's just going to be lines of vehicles just stopped in both directions, just waiting on something. Of course, in 20 years, hopefully I will have retired by then and won't have to worry about it. I mean, I'll probably have to work until I die, so there's that. But all I can say is I will eventually not have to worry about the traffic up here. Whether that's because I retired or it's because I'm dead, eventually I will have to not worry about the traffic up here.
At this point, I'm already thinking about where I'm going to have to stay if I'm not going to be in Clifton tonight. That's a possibility already, and it's really early in the route. I can make my final assessment when I'm leaving Steamboat, but at this point, it is not looking good at all.
So after leaving my last stop in Granby, I've got 3 stops left in Steamboat Springs, and I just think that window's going to be like too short, man. I've actually just kind of consigned myself to the fact that I'm going to have to stop short and rifle, and if that's the case, then I'll have to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning in order to be in Grand Junction when they open. And I hate doing that, but you got to do what you got to do. Those hours of service laws are not going to obey themselves.
Well, they finally did it to me. I don't have enough hours to get all the way down to Clifton, but I have barely enough hours to get here to Rifle, so that's where I'm at.
So yeah, man, I had to call Best Western up there in Clifton and tell them that I wasn't going to make it. And then I had to try to make a reservation in Rifle because that's just about as far as I'm going to get and still have a couple of minutes of ops left. Now, with the way I run Highway 13, I'll more than likely make it, but it's going to be a squeaker. Fucking cycling. And I ran my bike. So it'll jack up my schedule a little bit, but at least I got to my last stop before they shut the gate on me. Had they shut the gate on me, I would have had to have found a motel room somewhere in Steamboat during the summer with all those tens of thousands of extra people out there. It would have been a nightmare. I probably would be sleeping in the truck right now. Gee, you scared the crap out of me, Mr. Loud-Ass Motorcycle. So I even called him when I was at my second stop, and I said, man, is there somebody that can hang out with me just in case I don't make it out there before you guys close? He's like, no, we don't have anybody that can hang out. You're going to have to wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, roger that, and hung up the phone. Like, what am I going to do now? So I get restrapped and I look at what time it is, and I'm like, those bastards don't close for another 12 minutes. And it's like a 3-minute trip from my second stop to my last stop. So what did I do? I rolled up in their yard and still got unloaded. The kid I talked to sounded like he was about 16 anyway, so he didn't know any better. But over the years, I've gotten tight with the general manager at that store, so I'd have been like, hey man, and that would have been over. I've only ever had to do that one other time in almost 13 years, but I did have to do it once.
Now, in order to make all of my times on the back half of this route, I'm gonna have to get up super early in the morning and be in Grand Junction when they open.
So we're trying to make a beeline for Rifle right now. So there's a pretty good barbecue place in town, and I have my scooter on board, so I could just ride down there, eat, and come back. So I will actually be earlier doing what I'm doing now than I would have if I'd have gotten all the way to Clifton. So as tired as I've been all day, I'll get to bed earlier today. That's a win for me.
Tomorrow's stops are, of course, I have to drive all the way into Grand Junction, and then I have Carbondale, Basalt, Edwards, and not Breckenridge actually, and Silverthorne, and then I can go home. Anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. I'll see you in the next one.